How do you know if God has a plan for you, or how do you know what God's plan for you is? And maybe you don't really love the word God, and maybe you call it the universe or spirit or the nameless or divine mind, or you call it Allah. Whatever you call it, Alan Watts says you can't get wet by the word water, but there is this larger universe that we're a part of. And there is a deeper level to our spirituality. And how do you know what the bigger plan for you is, and when and where God can show up in your life? I'm going to be breaking down 5 shocking signs that you're on the right path and that the universe will show up for you in major ways. My name is Jake with JakeDucey.com. If you're new here, thanks for watching this video. I know there's 10 million other videos on YouTube that you could watch. If you're a returner, thanks for being back. Consider hitting the bell notification to get notified for new videos. I know you're like, I don't really want to, everyone says that. But if you hit the bell notification, it's actually the only way now you get notified for new episodes. My free success hypnosis is right there down below. It's jakeshypnosis.com to reprogram your subconscious mind. And let's dive right into the 5 shocking signs that the universe, that God, that the nameless has a plan for you. Number 1, you realize that you're a divine spiritual being. In order to connect with the universe, in order to connect with spirit, in order to connect with God, you have to first realize that you are a spiritual being. You aren't just a body. You aren't just trapped in the 3rd dimension and believing everything you can see, smell, taste, and touch is reality, because none of it's physical anyways. We now know all this from subatomic particles and quantum physics. It's all just energy. But what is this energy? This energy is the light of God. This energy is spirit. This is made up of atoms, right? Subatomic particles and all that stuff. Well, an atom is made up of 99% empty space. It's just a bunch of energy moving at a very high speed of rate. What is this energy? This energy is spirit. This energy is the light of God. And as Max Planck said it, Max Planck won the Nobel Prize for quantum physics in 1913. And he said, after studying the most clear-headed science that any man in the world would do, he realizes the study of atoms, he realizes that there is no matter as such, that all matter is just energy condensed to a very high speed of vibration, that it appears to be solid, and it all originates from a divine matrix, as he called it, the matrix, the mind of all matter. So there is this spirit here, and when we realize that we're not just a physical body, we're a spiritual being in a physical body, we open ourselves up to intuition, and we open ourselves up to communicate with and be supported by this higher spiritual energy that can guide and direct your whole life. Number 2, you realize that you're living in a friendly universe. Albert Einstein once said that the biggest decision you'll ever make in life, do you live in a friendly or a hostile universe? Do you live in a friendly or hostile universe? And we've been conditioned in our world, and now especially in recent times, to become to victimhood, to become victims to our reality. But even before that really kicked its notch up in the media, we normally have been patterned into a fight or flight state. We're in fear. We're in a dog-eat-dog world. So we view the world from a hostile lens most habitually. But it's a choice. And Albert Einstein said the biggest decision you ever make is, do you live in a friendly or hostile universe? So a friendly universe is, if I have a dream, if I have a goal, the seed of fulfillment will come with it. A friendly universe is that I'm not condemned to hell. A friendly universe is I'm good enough, I'm smart enough. A friendly universe is God loves me just the way that I am. I'm perfect. And when we tap into that, that's when we see it reflect in our outer world. And that's the power of viewing the world from a lens that says, I live in a friendly universe. God guides and directs my every move, step, and action today. Number 3, pick faith over fear. Pick faith over fear. Fear is belief in the evidence not yet seen. Lack of evidence isn't evidence of lack. So faith is belief in the evidence not yet seen. And fear is false evidence appearing real in most instances, right? And most people pick comfort, they pick safety, and they pick fear. But there's only two choices here, is faith or fear. And when you build your life from faith, lack of evidence is an evidence of lack. Just because I can't see the signs yet doesn't mean they're not there. Faith is seeing the limitations of your present life, but not believing in them and not allowing your thinking to be and your consciousness to be controlled by them. Seek first the kingdom of righteousness, and all things will be added unto you. What is that saying? Faith is, I recognize there's something larger than myself, or like what Hunter S. Thompson used to say, God, if you don't take care of me, you're going to have me on your hands. So faith is, I want to start my dream business. I want to move to that new city. I want to move to that new state. I want to do this. I want to do this. I feel inspired for this, in spirit to do this. And I don't know how, and I'm a little afraid, but I trust God has my back. I trust the universe has my back. I trust that I live in a friendly universe, and I trust spirit. So faith is belief in things not yet seen. Remember, most of reality you cannot see. This reality that we think is real is just a tiny fraction of visible light that we've come to believe through conditioning that it is absolute reality. It's relative reality, a very small bandwidth of available energy, of available spirit. And this faith is you stepping in to the image of God in which you're created, the powerful person that you are, and saying, I'm not afraid of something different. I'm not afraid of failure. I'm not afraid because I know that God has my back. Number 4, let go, surrender. Stay committed, though, to exercising your free will. Sometimes people believe that surrendering is that they just go, well, if it doesn't show up at my front door, I won't even try it. Or you don't get something that you want, something bad happens, and you think, well, maybe God is punishing me. Maybe this is a sign from the universe not to do it. Well, what if instead that God is trying to shape you, not break you? What if God is trying to help you transcend and transform and not condemning you to bad karma? So what if the bad thing is actually a good thing, because good and God are synonymous? And the bad thing is a good thing. It is a God thing. It is God. It is the universe, your higher self, manifesting the situation, because the point of life isn't what you get. The point of life is who you become. And so maybe this is happening because it's asking you to let go of everything you thought you believed about yourself. Maybe it's asking for you to be transformed. And I think that's why Henry David Thoreau said the point of a goal isn't what you get, but who you become in the process. And so if the bad thing is manifesting, ask yourself, who am I willing to become, and who is God asking me to become? Number 5 is to communicate with spirit and ask for guidance. Now, instead of just blabbing at you, I'll tell you how I applied these previous 5 things into my life. When I was a freshman in college, you heard this story. I asked my economics teacher why we couldn't audit the Federal Reserve. He told me to be quiet. I got in a big fight with him. I decided to drop out of college, backpack around the world, test these ideas. I was reading Wayne Dyer on how to manifest your destiny. And I said, if you can really manifest your destiny, why don't I try? And I didn't know how. I just knew I had this vision, and I was like, I'm going to write a book about it. And I backpacked around the world. I wrote this book about it. No one would publish a book. All the publishers said no, and everyone said, just like, do this when you're 65, little boy. And I decided to take a chance, and I didn't know how. And I was afraid, and I was worried, and sometimes I stayed up at night because I was worried. But I had faith, belief in the evidence not yet seen. I communicated with God. I said, God, if you don't help me out, you're going to have me on your hands. No, not really. I said, thank you, universe, for providing the solution to my every need, problem. Thank you for filling me with the powerful spiritual energy that will continue to guide and direct my life. Thank you for filling my cup, overflowing it. I'm attracting great financial opportunities. I'm feeling better and more inspired than ever. Awesome new people are showing up into my life. I attract only the best, and the universe continues to show up and guide and direct my life. And I just did this. And in a couple years, every time I was afraid, I just go, you put me on this track when I dropped out of college and I got inspired to write a book. And every time I've come into a big obstacle, because I went across the bridge and I cut the other side. There was no turning back. And every time you get to that point of that unknown in your life, what I kept doing all throughout my career is just say, I don't know how, but transform my mind and show me the way. And then things would always happen. When I was writing books and doing seminars and all these types of things like that, I realized that I needed to get into the college. I thought I needed to get into the college speaking market to make more money, because these colleges got these big dough budgets. So I hired this big motivational speaking coach, college coach, to teach me how. He ended up taking off with my money. It seemed like the worst thing ever, but then I realized I didn't even want to be a college speaker, and I was a college dropout, so why the hell am I trying to be a college speaker? I'm just trying to follow the money. That's dumb. So I said, what inspires me? Because the word inspired means in spirit. So ask yourself, what inspires you? What do you want? What inspires you right now? What do you really want? And I asked myself that question in bed when I was pissed off at that guy. And I said, well, what I want to do is I want to make videos on YouTube. I want to build online courses, do all these things the way that I want to teach what I want to teach about, instead of being controlled by like the public school system or whatever it was. So I decided to get on YouTube and start taking YouTube seriously. All of a sudden, flash forward a few years later, like 67, 70 million views, multiple channels with 6-figure subscribers, people all over the world, all these online courses all over the world. And all these amazing things started happening in my life on levels that I never would have imagined. And even looking back right now, 24 years removed of the people in power calling everyone non-essential, all my other colleagues that were in the college speaking markets lost all of their income. They lost all their jobs. They lost their career, really, for over 24 months. Mine was better than ever because God had moved me online before any of this happened. That's another example of how you live in a friendly universe, and God's always 15 steps ahead of you if you have faith instead of fear. And so I wanted to share a little bit about my story, so I wasn't just blabbing at you. If you enjoyed that video, you want to hear some more stories, let me know in the comments, or let me know the coolest synchronicity or insane manifestation story that's happened in your life when you've surrendered, let go, and trusted God and knew that the universe had a plan for you. You can let me know in the comments. Maybe I'll feature it in a future manifestation episode. Make sure you hit the like button on this video and check out my free success hypnosis. I always say it, but please do this. The reason I say this is because this is what changed my life more than anything. When I was afraid, when I was down, when I was doubting myself, when bad things were happening, and I was thinking, is this even possible? Is this really true? You can create what you want, and through spirit, all things possible. If this is really true, why is this bad thing happening? And every time that would happen, I would turn on my success hypnosis. And I would start mentally rehearsing. I would start surrendering to God, practice offering my dreams to the divine mind, thanking it for receiving it, thanking it for blessing my life. Thank you, God, for blessing my life. And that's what I would do, and that's what I recommend you do. It's free. It's right there down below. It's jakeshypnosis.com, pinned to the comments. It's the top comment in the link in the description right there down below. Or you can go to jakeshypnosis.com and start to use it to reprogram your mind. I always say brainwash yourself before the world brainwashes you. So every time you find yourself down, just use it, and use it to drop in, and then start thanking God for giving you blessings in your life. Start thanking God for filling your cup with constant abundance. Start while you're listening to it, and it gets you in the positive vibe. And that's how you start to not only reprogram your mind, but you start to call in more blessings from that higher power.